Imagine walking through a park and realizing the crows perched above know exactly who you are. Sounds like a scene from a movie, right? But here's the shocking truth. Many birds can recognize and remember human faces. This ability isn't just a quirky trick. It's a powerful survival skill. Birds like crows, magpies, and pigeons have been observed targeting specific people who either fed them or harmed them in the past. And here's the tension: if a bird recognizes you as a threat, it may never forget. Some even pass this knowledge on to their flock. Could it be that birds are watching us more closely than we ever imagined? To understand how this works, let's look at the science. Birds have excellent vision, far sharper than ours in many cases. Their brains are wired to detect patterns and remember them. When they see a human face, they don't just glance. They analyze features like eyes, nose, and shape. Then, they store this information for future encounters. Unlike other animals, birds rely heavily on vision as their primary sense, so facial recognition is second nature to them. But here's the catch: once they've memorized your face, it can take years for them to forget it. One of the most famous studies on bird facial recognition involved American crows. Researchers wore different masks, one associated with capturing the crows and another neutral mask. The crows didn't just remember which mask belonged to the dangerous human they mobbed and attacked that mask years later. Even new generations of crows who weren't there for the original event learned to recognize and fear the same face. This suggests something incredible. Crows not only remember faces, but also communicate that information across generations. That means your actions toward a bird today could affect how its descendants see you tomorrow. Think about the tension this creates. You may believe you're anonymous in a city filled with birds, but are you really? The pigeon you shoo away at the train station might recognize you again the next day. The crow you scare off your trash can may remember you for years. And once labeled as a threat, you could be marked forever in their memory. This is more than just animal instinct, it's advanced cognition. Could it be that birds are tracking us the way we track people in our own social networks? Magpies, another highly intelligent bird, take this recognition to the next level. They've been observed holding grudges against specific humans, sometimes dive bombing them repeatedly over time. In Australia, this has become such a problem that cyclists wear helmets with spikes to avoid attacks. But here's the chilling detail: magpies don't attack everyone. They single out specific individuals whose faces they remember. Imagine walking down a street and realizing only you are being targeted, while others pass unharmed. That's not random, that's recognition. Pigeons, too, are no strangers to this ability. Studies in urban environments have shown that pigeons can distinguish between friendly humans who feed them and unfriendly ones who chase them away. They don't confuse the two, even if the humans wear different clothes. This proves that pigeons focus specifically on facial features. They don't just see us as shapes or moving objects, they see us as individuals. And once you've made an impression, good or bad, it sticks. But here's the twist. Recognition isn't always about hostility. Birds also remember kindness. Many birdwatchers and homeowners have reported wild birds returning regularly to the same person who feeds them, sometimes showing signs of trust and comfort. In fact, some crows have even been known to bring gifts to people they recognize as allies: shiny trinkets, bits of glass, or even small valuables. Isn't it incredible to think that a wild animal might reward you for your face alone? The brain of a bird, though small, is surprisingly powerful. Despite its size, it has dense clusters of neurons that allow for advanced memory and problem solving. For crows and ravens, this makes them some of the smartest creatures on Earth. Recognizing human faces is just one part of their intelligence. But here's the real kicker. If birds can recognize faces, then they can also identify social patterns. This means they don't just know who you are, they know how you behave. And that puts us under a constant, silent watch. Think about how unsettling that is. You walk outside believing you're unnoticed, but the birds perched above might have a detailed memory of your actions. Did you feed them? They remember. Did you scare them? They remember. Did you ignore them? They remember that too. Each encounter leaves a trace in their minds, shaping how they see you in the future. This isn't coincidence, it's calculated observation. And it means we're part of their world in a way we rarely acknowledge. Scientists believe this ability evolved as a survival mechanism. In the wild, Being able to recognize a predator or a friend can mean the difference between life and death. For birds living in human-dominated environments, we are either a threat or a source of food. Recognizing our faces allows them to adapt quickly to our behaviors. This ability gives them an evolutionary advantage, ensuring they know exactly who to avoid and who to approach. But if they can do this with us, what else are they capable of recognizing? Parrots, known for their mimicry, also show signs of facial recognition. Owners often report their parrots reacting differently to different family members, even preferring some over others. They don't just respond to voices, they respond to faces. This proves that recognition isn't limited to wild birds, it's present in domesticated species too. And since parrots can live for decades, this memory may last a lifetime. Imagine being remembered by a bird for 50 years. That's not just intelligence, that's long-term social memory. But here's where things get even more fascinating. Some scientists suggest that birds don't just remember faces, they can also detect human emotions through facial expressions. While research is still ongoing, anecdotal evidence from bird owners suggests that parrots, ravens, and even chickens respond differently. When humans are angry versus calm, be true, this means birds aren't just recognizing us, they're reading us. If they can read us, then they're interacting with us on a far more complex emotional level than we ever thought possible. The danger, of course, lies in underestimating this ability. If birds can remember your face, mistreating them could have long-lasting consequences. In communities where people harm crows, the birds often become aggressive toward all humans, creating a cycle of mistrust. But when people show kindness, the opposite happens, the birds become allies. This creates a fascinating moral tension. Every interaction you have with a bird could shape not just your relationship, but the relationship of that entire flock with humanity. Think about how this changes our perspective on city life. We often ignore pigeons on the sidewalks or crows on power lines, dismissing them as background creatures. But to them, we are individuals with faces, actions, and patterns. They're not ignoring us, they're studying us. This means our cities aren't just human spaces, they're shared territories, where animals like birds adapt and thrive by observing and remembering us. Here's another layer of tension. If birds recognize us so well, are they capable of manipulating us? Some researchers believe so. Birds that beg for food often target specific humans who are most likely to give in. They might approach a familiar, sympathetic face while ignoring others. This selective targeting is more than coincidence, it's strategy. It shows that birds not only recognize us, but also make judgments based on what they remember. They know who to trust, who to avoid, and who to exploit. In some cultures, this ability has been noticed for centuries. Indigenous peoples have long respected crows and ravens as intelligent beings, capable of remembering and responding to humans individually. Folklore often portrays these birds as messengers or tricksters, a reflection of their real-world intelligence. What modern science is proving today is something people have suspected for thousands of years, that birds are far more perceptive than we give them credit for. But the story doesn't end with crows, magpies, or pigeons. Even chickens, often thought of as simple farm animals, can recognize and remember human faces. Farmers have reported chickens responding differently to different people, even showing preference for those who feed them. This means facial recognition is not just a rare skill, it's widespread across bird species. Could it be that nearly every bird we encounter sees us as unique individuals, not faceless beings? The implications of this are staggering. If birds recognize us, remember us, and pass that knowledge along, then our relationship with them is far deeper than we've realized. Every action, good or bad, creates a ripple in their memory and behavior. We're part of their world in ways we rarely consider. And as we continue to expand into their habitats, the importance of this recognition only grows. They're not just adapting to us, they're keeping score. So the next time you walk past a crow, pigeon, or magpie, ask yourself, what do they remember about you? Did you once feed them a scrap of bread? Did you wave them away angrily? Do you ignore them completely? Whatever the case, they know you. You've stored your face in their memory. They'll act accordingly. That should make us think twice about how we interact with the birds around us. In the end, the answer is clear. Yes, birds can recognize human faces, and they never forget. This ability allows them to navigate our complex world with precision and intelligence. But more than that, it forces us to reconsider how we see them. They're not just background animals, they're intelligent, observant beings with memories that rival our own.